Hi everyone. In this class, we are going to discuss about Alan Pratt's behavioral matrix. This is an important industrial location theory provided in 1967. The perfect robot versus the flawed human. The myth is, according to classical theories like Weber's and laws, they assumes perfect rationality. That means decision makers are believed to have flawless knowledge and zero cognitive limits when circulating industrial locations. On the other hand, the reality is that the behavioral geography provided by Pratt, humans make decisions under uncertainty. We have limited knowledge and varying abilities, meaning we rarely choose the absolute mathematical optimal location. Alan Pratt shifted the focus to the behavioral decision maker, economic man in 1967 to behavioral decision maker, Alan Pratt's behavioral matrix. In 1967, Alan Pratt introduced realism into industrial location theory. He argued that where a business physically locates is not a purely economic math equation. Okay, it is a deeply human behavioral choice driven by our fundamental limitations. Okay, it's depend upon human behavior and human requirement and human choice. Okay, not based on the mathematical equation or purely economic equation. Every location decision relies on two human behaviors: information availability and ability to use information. Okay, information availability, low and high. Knowledge of alternatives, do you have the idea, have the data, that means have the information. And ability to use information, low information and high information, that means decision making capability. Can you actually process and execute on the data? Like this. The behavioral matrix dictates the final location. Ability to use information, low to high, and information availability, low to high. Okay, in this stage, near optimal high information, but high ability to use information but low information availability. Near optimal satisfying, low information plus high ability. Then poor location, low information plus low ability. Then optimum location, high information plus high ability, and suboptimal location, high information plus low ability. This is the behavioral matrix provided by Pratt. The unicorn, complete knowledge meets perfect execution. The intersection, high information plus high ability. The result is decision makers possess complete knowledge of and alternatives and strong analytical skills required to execute perfectly. The reality check, this leads to an optimal industrial location. However, this perfectly aligns with classical economic models and is exceptionally rare in the real world. The wasted map, having the data but misreading the signals. The intersections, that means high information plus low ability. The result is the necessary information is fully available, but it is not purely utilized by the decision makers. Real world applications leads to suboptimal decisions. A classic example is a firm that purchases expensive market data but misinterprets the trends, leading to a fluid location choice. The pragmatist, making the best out of limited visibility. The intersections, low information plus high ability. The result is that firms have limited information available but possess excellent decision-making skills to navigate the uncertainty. The Simon connection results in a near optimal or satisfying location. Drawing from Herbert Simon, firms choose locations that are good enough rather than paralyzing themselves searching for an impossible best. And the last one, the guesswork, operating blind without a compass, low information, low ability. The results, a total lack of both knowledge regarding alternatives and the skills required. The processes any data that might exist. Real world application, this reliably leads to a poor industrial location decision. This quadrant is highly common among small local and traditional firms that rely on habit or convenience rather than strategy. Okay, now the cognitive bottleneck of bounded rationality. Decision makers physically and cognitively cannot process all the information that exists. Okay, decision makers physically and cognitively cannot process all the information that exists. Therefore, human decision making environments are fundamentally defined by uncertainty, incomplete information, and our own biological cognitive limitations. Okay. Satisfying meaning means prioritizing the target over the bullseye. Endless paralyzing search for mathematical perfection and taking action once baseline needs we meet. Because of bounded rationality, firms exhibit satisfying behavior. Instead of spending infinite time and money searching for the mathematically perfect location, they choose a location that satisfies their requirements. What a behavioral matrix unlocks for geographers? Pratt's framework is vital because it explains spatial realities that pure math cannot. Okay, industrial clustering explains why similar businesses group together safely to share information rather than spacing out optimally. Regional disparities explains why certain geographic areas lag behind economically due to a clustered poor decision making and law information. Non-optical choices proves that inefficient locations are not mistakes but highly predictable outcomes of human limitations. The structured limits of behavioral frameworks. Measurement, the breakthrough, introduce mass in needed human realism. The trade-off, difficult to objectively quantify behavior, psychology and cognitive ability. Precision, the breakthrough, functions as an excellent descriptive tool for existing layouts. The trade-off lacks the predictive precision required to forecast future locations. Math, the breakthrough has successfully captured complex human nuance, and the trade-off does not provide a clear, testable mathematical model like classical and theories. Okay, these are some advantages and disadvantages in terms of measurement, precision, and maths in the Pratt industrial location theory. The resulting landscape is perfectly predictably flawed. Pratt proves that industrial location is not purely economic. Imperfect knowledge and human limitations granted that real-world industrial patterns will always be measured, more clustered and more complex than classical theories suggest. Okay, Pratt's matrix at a glance. The Who, proposed by Alan Pratt in 1967 as a direct critique of classical and perfectly rational location theories. A framework proving industrial location depends on information ability plus decision-making ability. To it introduce bounded rationality and satisfying into human geography. It successfully explains non-optimal industrial locations, regional disparities, and why real-world landscapes rarely match pure economic math. Okay, that's all for today. If you have any doubt and query, just let me know in the comment section. Thanks for watching. Thank you.